Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of CountryLine TV. Now this week we are in one of my favorite places in all of Nashville. We are backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. I love coming here. I'm very, very lucky that I get to come here a lot and I speak to all the artists that are playing on stage. The Opry is a wonderful place. If you've been to Nashville, you will know it is home of country music. If you're planning a trip to Nashville, then this is definitely on your bucket list. Now, the Grand Ole Opry this year turns 100 years old. So to celebrate, we're going to be bringing you some episodes where we chat with some Opry members themselves, some of the artists that have graced the famous stage, and some of the people that help put on the show and make it as magical as it is. Now, the Grand Ole Opry is more than just country music. They cover a whole range of music. There's bluegrass, there's Americana, there is folk music as well. It is absolutely wonderful. When you come to a show at the Opry, it's like a variety performance. You're not really sure what you're going to expect, but let me tell you, you will have a wonderful time. And on this week's episode, we have two very special bluegrass artists to chat with. Darrin and Vincent is an amazing duo, and we're talking to Darrin Vincent. And then we're going to be chatting with Rhonda Vincent, who is Darrin's sister. Now, both of them independently are Opry members themselves. They are the only brother and sister who have their own Opry membership. So we're going to be chatting with them about what it's like to be Opry members. And then coming up as well, we also have Billy Dean, who's dropping by to tell us all about his Opry memories. We are here, we are backstage at the Opry, which is just always such a magical place to be.
It really is.
Darrin Vincent, how are you?
Great, Natalie.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having a chat with us. I actually sat here, so we're in one of the best dressing rooms, I think. This is the one that they give to people making their debut, isn't it? Can you tell us a little bit about the Opry? Because this is a super special interview, and thank you so much for doing this, because you are, in fact, an Opry member.
Yes.
That's super exciting.
Thank you. 213th member.
213.
Yeah. There's been 234, I believe, in the 100 years. Moving up to that, yeah.
And that's not very many, actually, when you think about it. They've been going for 100 years.
Yeah.
So to only have that number of members, that must be, I mean, I can't even put into words how that must feel.
It's a very small sorority, if you will.
Yeah.
And there's 74 living members.
Yeah.
And it's really an honor to be, to represent the Grand Ole Opry, the history of music throughout the world, different styles, such history.
It really is, isn't it? Yeah. So when was the very first, we're going to talk about the Opry, we're just going to focus on this. So Darrin and Vincent, you guys have been together for a while.
16 years.
16?
Yeah.
Amazing.
2025 will be we're 16 years old.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
When was the very first time that you played the Opry?
I was 18 years old.
Okay.
1988. Wow. I had a family band that traveled all over the world. Called the Sally Mountain Show, the Vincent family. Okay. We lived in Missouri. We actually played a theme park like Dollywood. Yeah. There's a place called Silver Dollar City in Missouri, and we were playing there with our family. Hal Durham happened to be out there. It was raining. There was nobody there. My family kept playing our hour show. Anyway. He was so impressed with our work ethic. He says, "I want to invite you to come to the Grand Ole Opry and sing and play for us." That was our opportunity. So you always do your show because you never know who's going to be standing out in the audience.
See?
He invited us to come to the Opry. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out. Sally Mountain Show. Yeah, I've got hair back then. It's my mom and dad, my sister Rhonda, and my brother Brian. We all was there at the Sally Mountain Show in 1988.
The history that you personally have with this place is amazing.
It really is, and it gets better than that. My sister Rhonda Vincent.
Yeah.
She became a member, I think 2 or 3 years after that, and my sister Rhonda and I are the only brother-sister acts of the Grand Ole Opry to have 2 separate memberships in 100 years, the only 2.
I love that.
Isn't that something?
You've kind of set the bar quite high now. For anybody who's got a brother, sister, who's in the industry, I'm like, guys, this is the level you've got to get to, right?
That was all the Lord's hand, yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
What is the kind of legacy of being an Opry member? How does that feel, and what is kind of expected of you when you've become a member?
Always, no matter where you go, always represent the Grand Ole Opry in a classy, really high-honored way, which we would anyway. Yeah. But I've seen, Vince, Dolly Parton, she's a member. They all consider this a high honor. Vince, was out with the Eagles now, the rock group. Huge honor. He's here on Friday and Saturday nights if he's not out with the Eagles or out with touring. we just consider it such a high honor to be able to maintain and continue to carry the torch for country and bluegrass music.
Darrin is so funny and he has the best stories. I had the best time chatting with him. We've got more from the Grand Ole Opry right after the break, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to CountryLine TV. I'm Natalie Cox. We are here at the Grand Ole Opry. We are backstage. Don't worry, I'm not going to be singing. It's absolutely fine. I'm going to let the professionals do that. And one of those professionals is Rhonda Vincent. Now, Rhonda is a Grand Ole Opry member. So, of course, I had to ask her about when she got asked to join the family. Rhonda Vincent, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good.
You literally just stepped off the stage.
I did.
This was so amazing.
Oh,
it was amazing
so
to see you play.
I'm still wound up because I
can imagine. What is it like out there? Like, you've played the Opry how many times now? Do you know how many times you've played?
I think I'm close to 360 or 70 times. We were counting, and then we were added last second a few times, so I think it's more than I actually know. But
that's incredible. That is incredible.
It was 200. The 215th time is the one that really stands out because that's the night that Jeannie Seely walked out and said, "How would you like to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry?"
So this is what I want to ask you about, because we are talking about the Opry. It's the 100th anniversary. What goes through your mind when that happens? Tell us about the night. And were you expecting it?
I was not expecting it. In fact, I had pretty much given up on that dream. And
really?
I said, I had like 215 times, and I was just, I said, you know what? I'm just blessed and fortunate that I get to play, that I get to be a special guest occasionally, and I was just thankful for that, and because that was my hopes and dreams for so long, and wanted that so desperately. And then I said, you know what, Lord, if I'm never a member, it's okay. I'm just glad that I get to be on this stage. And then 215 on February 28th of 2020. And Jeannie Seely walked out, my Opry sister, and says, "How would you like to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry?" And I just said, "Thank you, Lord." It's like, it's not in my time, it's in God's time.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's one more thing. How would you like to be the next member of the Grand Ole Opry?
Tell us about your album. You put out a new album just last year.
Yes.
Destinations and Fun Places. You've got some original stuff on there, and then you've done like bluegrass versions of other songs as well.
Many classics,
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeannie Seely wrote a song for me 18 years ago called I Miss Missouri.
Yeah.
Well, she lost it in the flood of 2010. She lost everything. She lives near the Opry on the river. She lost it. Well, then when she invited me to be a member, all of a sudden these lyrics started coming back to her. We were friends, but we became really close friends. And anyway, she invited me and Aaron Enderlin. She goes, "I've been thinking of these words. I'm writing these down. Come, let's finish the song."
Yeah.
So I had said, Missouri, let's have a songs about destinations.
Yeah.
And it ended up, I made a list of all the songs that mention places and destinations. And anyway, I came up with the songs like that, and then invited her and Trisha Yearwood to sing on Margaritaville.
Yeah.
That's a destination. And it's a new, when we sing it, people are laughing because they're about to sing, it's an anthem now for women.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a new version. There's Country Roads with Dolly and Cody Johnson.
Amazing.
Alison Krauss and I did it's over 7 minutes version of Wagon Wheel.
A 7-minute version?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So there's a lot there, but it's so fun. It's like she sings with me almost on every other line. She sings harmony. It's kind of it's sort of a duet, but it's not really a duet. But
so you had no fun making this album at all, did you?
It was just it was such a drag. No, it was. I don't know. I ended up with and Sonia Isaacs and my brother Darrin always likes me to mention. He's on there too.
Okay, got to get him in there as well.
Along with my band, The Rage, pretty much is playing all of the music, and it was a blast to make and to release it and to see the reactions when people hear this and they find out who's on it. Sonia Isaacs, one of my favorite groups, the Isaacs, that are also Opry members.
Thank you so much for having a chat with us and sharing your memories of the Opry. And anybody who's coming to Nashville, I mean, there's a good chance that you'll be playing here. So
that's right.
I can't see them slowing down. That's for sure. I can't wait for you to kind of hit the next 400 milestone. Is going to be incredible. So have a party for it. Thank you for having a chat with us. I do appreciate it.
My pleasure. Blessings to you all.
We're here at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. Now, As always, there's a lot of the interviews that we don't get to pack into a half-hour show. So if you want to watch them all, you can download the CountryLine app. It's free from your app store. We have all the interviews that didn't make it into the show, plus articles, gig guides, what's coming up, new music, everything a country music fan could want. And don't forget as well, follow us on social media where you can keep up to date on all the latest gossip from your favorite artists. You can find us at CountryLine TV. Welcome back to CountryLine TV. We are here at the Grand Ole Opry. The Grand Ole Opry is turning 100 years old. Happy birthday. And for the first time ever, they will be broadcasting the Opry show from outside of the United States. They are going in September all the way over to London, England, my hometown, to play the Grand Ole Opry there. They have 5 Opry members who are going to be putting on a show at the Royal Albert Hall. It's going to be amazing and we can't wait. So to celebrate the Opry 100, we are chatting with a whole bunch of artists who are Opry members and who have played at the Grand Ole Opry to find out about their special moments. We are in my favourite place in the whole world. We're backstage at the Grand Ole Opry with Billy Dean.
My favorite too.
Is it?
It is. I still get nervous coming here just because of the history, you know.
You really get nervous coming to playing, because you've been playing music for such a long time and you've been at the Opry before, I mean.
Well, and it's nerve-wracking too because they broadcast live, so it's like being in the recording studio. It's like you can't really hide too much, you know, because they're recording and you can hear it back, you know, so you really got to be on your game.
Right.
You know?
I was going to start off this interview actually. I have to ask the most important question, which I'm sure that everybody asks you when they first meet you. How tall are you?
I'm 6'4" and shrinking probably at this point.
6'4".
Played old jock, played basketball, small little junior college basketball, and I was kind of a jock growing up, you know. But I always loved music. My dad was a World War II veteran and lost a couple of brothers in that war. And music was kind of like his medicine, so we had it around the house all the time. He had a band, so I really I love sports, but I knew I was never going to go very far. But college was going to be about it, and I better start, you know, paying attention to my music more, you know.
What I wanted to ask was, what kind of music did your dad play then? What kind of music was his band playing? Was it country?
It was country,
Yeah.
but they played a dance, and so back in those days they couldn't really dance to country music, not like line dance and stuff. So they called themselves the Country Rocks, and they would play Bellamy Brothers, and they would take country songs like Your Cheating Heart, like Hank Williams songs, and they would shuffle them, Your Cheating Heart, so people could dance, you know.
Right.
And my dad did more of the crooner music. He had a really beautiful voice, and so he was into like Marty Robbins and Jim Reeves. These were old classic crooners, you know, and I kind of picked up and really started learning those types of songs, these old country crooner songs. You know, I was kind of a balladeer, you know. And later, when I became a teenager, I really got into like the outlaws, like Willie and Waylon, and I was like, you know, being a teenager, you know, I was really into those. Merle Haggard was my guy. I was into those classics.
Well, because I have to ask, because I did read somewhere, now correct me if I'm wrong, but who did you sing at your graduation? It was not a country artist.
No, it wasn't. It was Frank. I sang. I did it my way, but I learned
Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, and I learned it from Elvis. Elvis did a version of it. And in the 10th grade, I still remember this. When I first heard Elvis Presley, I was a big Elvis fan. And when I heard him do My Way, I thought, I'm going to sing that at my graduation. We did it our way.
There you go. If you could take a song that's not a country song, I'm kind of skipping ahead here and I'm going to jump around all over the place, but if you could take a song that's not a country song and put a twist on it, because I reckon if you took some of Frank's songs and put like a steel guitar in there, it would sound country, right?
It would be huge.
Is there a song that you would love to do like a country version of?
Oh, that would be a great idea. You know, I could see My Way being kind of like a tempo song. I don't think. That's a good idea.
Because a lot of those crooner songs, actually, if you take them and put a bit of a fiddle in there.
That's right.
You know,
you're exactly right. Because country music was really about melody and simplicity. You know, and that back in the, there's a guy told me when I first got to Nashville. He said, I'm gonna tell you something right now, son. And he says, the difference between trite and simplicity is a matter of hundreds of thousands of dollars if you get it right, right?
Yeah.
So there was an art form to being very simple because people could remember it. That to me, that melody, now the end is near, so I face the final curtain. It was a well-constructed melody, which is what country music really works on, melody and lyric.
I love that.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you played the Opry?
Wow, let's see. The very first time.
My heart stopped for a second there thinking maybe it was tonight.
No.
I'm kidding.
Well, so it was a big deal. I had only here for a little while. I don't remember that. It was probably 1991 or 92. It was and very, very nerve-wracking. I'll tell you this. So the Ryman downtown, the original Grand Ole Opry, it closed, I think, around in '74. My parents, they had saved up their money, and they knew I loved the Grand Ole Opry. They brought me when I was 9. I think I was 9 years old. I got a white cowboy hat. I already thought I was a star, and they closed it. And the new one here hadn't opened yet, so we didn't get to go. And they saved for that trip. So my mom went home, sold Sarah Comforter jewelry or like Tupperware, doing house parties, and she won a trip to Nashville when I was 15 and brought me back. And I got to come here, and we sat way up in the nosebleed section, and that's when I knew, as soon as I graduate, I'm coming as soon as I can come here. And then pretty soon I got to sit down on the floor during the CMA Awards, and then eventually got to be on the stage and actually perform. So it's been a journey.
We've got more coming up from Billy Dean straight after these. And what about music? So the last album that was out was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And you made everybody wait for that one.
10 years.
So now I'm going to ask, are we going to have to wait another 8 years till the next one comes out?
No.
Billy, you're killing us. Put some music out.
I've
What's
been
going on?
writing, moved back to Florida. My mom was in her 90s at the time, and it was time to move back home and help my sisters with my mom. It was time to be a brother and time to be a son. And so I did that, and I reconnected with a lot of old high school friends and everything. But the one thing that was missing was, there weren't songwriters in Florida that I knew, and so there was a couple of doctor friends of mine that loved to write songs as a hobby, and they said, "You want to come over Friday and write?" And they had some really great ideas, and I thought, I need to keep my chops up, just because I'm not living in Nashville doesn't mean I shouldn't write. So we started writing, and I think wrote some of the best stuff that I've ever been a part of, I think, and it just kept piling up, stacking up. We weren't getting in the studio recording them. It was like, I don't know. So I kept writing, came up, wrote a song with my buddy Craig Morgan, and Craig and Luke Combs put that out last year. So I had a little song called "Raise the Bar." So I was like, okay, I think I still got it. I think I could still do this. So we're reimagining my original hits, which I recorded in my 20s, late 20s, and my management team asked me, could you reimagine these songs? Just me and a guitar and just maybe more, a sparse production, but just kind of reimagine them. And I wasn't sure. I was like, how do I do that? So I basically kind of took the lyrics and the message and the stories on some of these songs. Some I wrote, some I didn't write. And I had my guitar, and I was just reading the lyrics. It had been a long time since I just actually read the lyrics and memorized them. And as I was reading the lyrics, they made me play a different kind of, approach them differently. Being an older guy now, and the stories, some had a sad story, and maybe the music needed to be a little more sadder, Anyway, I just kind of started reimagining these songs, and that's what I'm in town doing as well, and about to mix some of those older songs, and then we're about to start recording some of the new songs, which I'm really excited about because I think they're very, I think they're special. I don't know if anybody will care or not, but you know, but I've got to get them. I got to get them recorded. So for me, I almost kind of have to get them recorded before I feel like I can start writing more songs. Because I feel like I have so many I need to get them done. So I'm working on it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you for having a chat with us. It's always wonderful to meet people who've done the Opry several times, because I just feel like you guys are part of the history. You are what makes the Opry the Opry. So it's very exciting to hear you've got new music coming out as well. So when the album is out and done and dusted, you'll have to come back and chat with us again.
I would love it. Thanks for the invite. I'll be there.
We'd love that.
You bet.
We'd love that. Have a good night tonight.
Thank you, Natalie.
Hey everybody, Paul Ogletree here, reminding you to join us next week, where we will be here at Acme Feed and Seed on Broadway, bringing you the best of Music City from the heart of it all. We'll see you next week.
That is all we have time for today, I'm afraid. But we will be back again soon with more from your favorite country artists on another episode of CountryLine TV. I'm going to go watch the show and see some of the magic happen. We'll see you again very soon. Take care.